Welcome to another video with Port Macquarie Urban Food Garden. We have been growing food with a sustainability focus since 1994. Through our channel, we will attempt to show everything we have learnt along the way. Some videos you may not think of searching for, so have a quick look at all of our videos and subscribe to our channel to be notified of our new videos.
Hi everybody, it's the 2nd of August and we've just finished putting compost in our Styrian black pumpkin bed. One of the hardest things to grow is your proteins, and Styrian black pumpkins produce edible, hull-less pumpkin seeds. So they are an excellent sort of source of protein, and they're also pretty good with fats and stuff too. This is week 1. We'll be doing them about a week apart. Normally we plant these in the middle of August, but this year it's been unseasonably warm, as it has for the rest of Europe, and we thought we'd put them in a couple of weeks early. So on to week 2.
Hey everyone, it's the 9th of August and this is week 2 of our Styrian black pumpkin seed saga. Today I wanted to introduce you to our centipede. As you can see, it's a long irrigation along this bed, drip irrigation that gravity feeds slowly and simply from our rainwater tank further up the slope. We've actually had 2 falls of rain, 2 good falls of about 5 mils each in this last week, and this has been excellent for these beds. Of course, we haven't seen any seeds come up yet. We're not expecting that for 2 or 3 weeks, but what we wanted to show you today was how well the soil was wet down under this light mulch that we've got on top of these beds. The light mulch works the best because it allows all of the rain to soak into the beds so that they're wet nice and deep. And you can see that the soil looks wet underneath the mulch. But the mulch also has a makes a reflective surface so that the sun doesn't actually dry out the bed. That's it for today. See you next week.
Welcome to our 3rd video of our Styrian black pumpkin seed beds. It's the 16th of August. Our last video showed that there were no Styrian blacks up, but the Styrian blacks actually came up the next day. You can see the Styrian blacks are all up in our top row, because that is in full sun, and they are up in the most easterly part of the bed because that also gets some sun. Our westerly part gets shaded by the hedge. So we plant the Styrian blacks 3 seeds per hole, and we've got at least 1 in every hole in the top bed, and we should end up with the same in this bed. See you later.
Today is the 23rd of August, exactly 3 weeks since we planted these Styrian black pumpkins. As you can see on this bed here that has been in the full sun, the top bed, every single hole has a plant in it. We've thinned those out. We planted 3 seeds and we thinned it out to just the strongest plant, and you can see that they now all have a leaf, and they're growing really fast. They're very, very fast growing plants. In the bottom bed we've thinned the first few. This was in shade, and you can see there's still some shade on that far section, and that actually the very last hole hasn't got anything come up yet, so we'll have to plant something more in that later once it's getting some sun on it. Okay, so all doing really well, and we'll find out how they've done in another week.
This is video number 5, so it's the 4th week. As you can see, most of the Styrian black pumpkins are getting their second leaves. We've pulled out mostly the extra plants and just left one in each hole. As you can see along our paths, they do need a bit of weeding. The best time to weed is before they flower, so we will probably do that sometime this week. Hopefully the next video will have no weeds. Bye for now.
Hello again, it's the 6th of September, 5 weeks since we planted these Styrian black pumpkins. As you can see, they're doing well, especially the ones in the top bed, which have had full sun now for all the time. The ones in the bottom bed are still partly in the shade. You can see right up the end there's still a little bit of shade, but that final hole, I planted 3 more seeds and they've all come up. So we'll thin those out when they get their second leaves, and then we'll have our full bed of Styrian black pumpkin seeds waiting to grow and produce us delicious pumpkins.
This is time-lapse video number 7. It's been 6 weeks since the Styrian black pumpkins were planted. You can tell the top bed, which gets sun earlier than the bottom bed, is actually doing a lot better. There's flower buds on them, and they're at the stage now where they're just about to put on some major growth. This is the time we need to get in and weed underneath them, because once they start growing really quickly, it's going to be impossible to weed them. So get in while you can. Thank you.
It's Wednesday the 20th of September. This is our 8th video, which means it's 7 weeks since we planted these Styrian black pumpkins. As you can see, they're starting to grow really well. Notice that still the ones on this lower bed are a little bit behind because they've had less sun so far. Now, as these pumpkins get more rambunctious, you'll find that you need to move the vines so that they're not going in directions that you don't want them to grow. So in this, especially in this top bed, we've actually been along here and turned all the vines so that they're growing along the bed rather than trying to escape from the bed. They're also starting to form female flowers now, so it won't be long and they'll be flowering, and then we'll really see some interesting things happening.
Okay. This is the 27th of September and it's the 9th video, and these are 8 weeks, our Styrian black pumpkins. Oh, what's this? Somebody's been pollinating our flowers.
That would have been me. Yesterday I did 1 flower and this morning I did 3.
Yay.
So come along here and have a look at this one. You can see the leaves are getting really nice and big now. And here's one of the flowers that I actually fertilised this morning by hand. And you see they're lovely big flowers, and you can see this female flower. You can see that behind here you can see the fruit that'll be growing into a pumpkin. And we hand fertilise them, hand pollinate them at first until the bees find them. But the bees haven't found them yet, so the next few weeks or so we'll be checking every morning and fertilising them, and then hopefully the bees will find them. They're all growing beautifully.
Have you got a male flower there you can show?
No, I think I used them all. Oh, there's some male flowers here, but they're not open. This is a spent one. It's closed up again, but you know, they're on long stalks like this, and that's how you can tell the difference. And you can see that there's some more female flowers starting to form here. You can see the little tiny fruit behind there, and here's another male flower starting. as well.
Okay. So that's all the news from the Styrian bed.
It's the 4th of October. This is video number 10, so 9 weeks since we planted these Styrian back pumpkins. We've been diligently fertilising them every morning. The flowers open for only a short time and the bees haven't found them yet. Here's a flower. This one was open this morning and you can see it's already starting to close up. The pumpkins that have been flowering have been setting really well, and we'll take a walk along and have a look at one of those. They're a bit tricky to find. In the back, a little bit back further. There it is. You can see that they're actually growing quite quickly. Oh look, and here's another one here. That's probably easier to see. And behind it, there's one that has probably just been fertilised yesterday. So you can see they actually grow quite quickly.
It's a good example of seeing what a female flower looks like. They have the actual pumpkin ready to grow on the bottom underneath the flower, whereas the males don't. So here is a male flower, and I'll just pick that right off. So there's no bulb underneath it. I'm just going to show, hand pollinating is really important because the best pumpkins are the first pumpkins. So I'm going to show you how to hand pollinate, because you really need to do that, because bees won't find them for a couple of weeks. It's really random for the bees to find them. People will tell you that it's all about colour and the bees will find them. That's a load of rubbish. It's actually a random thing, and these bees haven't found these and they've been out for a week. First of all, just peel the flower off the male part, and then with the male part you just take it down and rub it on the female parts. The pollen will transfer onto the female parts, and that's all there is to hand pollinating. And it's something you really need to do, and you need to do it for the first flowers that come out, because they are going to be your biggest and your best pumpkins. The flowers that come out later will be small and not so good. We've been very successful. All the pumpkins we've pollinated in the last week are all growing, and that's good.
So you can see that these pumpkins really take up the whole space. You can't even really see where the beds are anymore. And they're going to keep growing. The leaves are really big. We've been watering them every day because we haven't had any rain, and they're still growing really well.